Today, we will talk about the topics seen in English 4. Among the topics are to and enough, food vocabulary, rather and prefer, use of will, may and might, idioms, and the conditionals, which are presented by my partner Alexis Garcia and me, Victor Hugo Rivera. To and enough are used when we want to quantify quantities in adverbs, adjectives, and nouns. It is a complement that expresses itself like this. 2. When we talk about more than necessary, enough, when we talk about the right amount of something, and not enough, when we talk about less than necessary. Structure enough. We have different ways to structure enough. It is different if you use adjectives. In this case, the adverb is placed first and then enough. For example, you are old enough to go to school on your own. The use is the same if we talk about adverbs, where the enough is placed after the adverb. For example, I am not well enough today. I am still feeling bad. In the case of names, put enough first and then the names. For example, I don't have enough space in my house. Just enough is used when the object to be quantified is understood. For example, I don't want to eat more. I have enough. Use of to for adjective adverbs. In the structure, to is placed after but. So, that it is first the adjective or the adverb and then to. For example, you are too young to know this. I don't like to wake up too early. Use of too for many and much. Too many is used with substantive countables. For example, I like too many Spanish writers. And too much is used with uncountable substantive. For example, I don't want to eat too much meat. Food vocabulary. Best times to eat. When we talk about eating time, it is important that we consider the moment in which we consume the sacred foods. We have three main moments in which we eat: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Depending on the culture, religion, and country, the time to eat and the type of dish are different. When we talk about food, we have a lot of type of verb for describing, like salty, spicy, crunchy, juicy, acidic, and sweet. How does it taste? When we're talking about a delicious food, we describe any word used that denotes that the food consumed had a pleasant taste for the person. Like example, really good, yummy, or flavorful. In another case, jug is describing any word or expression that denotes that the food consumed was not to the consumer's liking. For example, this food is too for me, or this tastes different. I think I prefer something else.
And next, talk about the use and structure of rather and prefer. Rather and prefer are words used to show in choice for different options. The structure in this sentence are the same except for one small difference: rather and followed by base verb and prefer followed by infinitive. The prefer is always used to demonstrate a general preference. That is when you can express your indications at all times and regardless of conditional and conditions. The structure of this sentence are subject, will, prefer to, and base verb. For example, I would prefer to live in a nice beach. And next, rather. We use rather is the great adverb. We also use it to express alternative and preference. The structure of this sentence are subject, will, rather, and base verb. For example, I would rather go to a different restaurant. Use of will, may, and might. We use these modal verbs to talk about prediction based on option. When we use will, it is very high probability that it's happened. When we use the may, have a 50% happen, and when we use a may, we have a very little chance of happening. And the structure is the sentence are subject plus modal verb plus verb and infinitive plus complement. For example, in you use may. I may go to the beach tomorrow. It's Saturday. When we talk about idioms, we refer to expressions and phrases that are used in English to speak in figurative senses and that are only understood by its context. An example of idiom is expression break a leg to wish someone good luck. And more idioms, it's cold turkey and piece of cake and etc.
Type of conditionals. We have four different types of conditional sentences. Each expresses a different degree of probability that a situation will occur or will have occurred under certain circumstances. We have zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, and third conditional. Zero conditional. This conditional is used for when the time being referred to is no or always, and the situation is real and possible. This conditional is often used to refer to general truths. The tense in both parts of the sentence is the simple present. In this conditional, we can change the word when by the word if without changing the meaning. For example, if you had ice, it melts. And another example, when you had ice, it melts. Type 1 conditional. This conditional is used to refer to the present or future where the situation is real. The type 1 conditional refers to a possible condition and its probable result. In these sentences, the if clause is in the simple present and the main clause is in the simple future. For example, if you don't hurry, you will miss the train. If it rains, you will get wet. Thank you for your attention.